Alrighty, welcome back everyone. We just talked about RG3's comments about Caleb Williams and Shadur Sanders and their possible holding out for the right team in their draft processes. I don't necessarily agree with the take, but you can look back at that segment if you want to know exactly why. But let's get back to one of our classics, breakout players for 2024 on the offensive side of the ball. This is now part 4 of this series, and I got to be honest with you guys, I'm running out of steam a little bit. So I think part 5 might be the end of the offense and defensive portions of this, but for right now, let's get it rolling. And let's start with Brock Vandegrift. This is going to be an SEC entirely an SEC segment now that I look at it, but we got some incredible guys in the SEC that are ready to fully step into the spotlight, and Brock Vandegrift is at the very top of the list. I've talked about Vandegrift quite a bit on here, and it's really because he's someone that I love. I think his ability is absolutely off the charts. The arm talent is incredible. He just so happened to be behind two guys that are really hard to beat out. Stetson Bennett was the most successful quarterback in UGA history when he got there, and Carson Beck is likely, in my book at least right now, the number one overall pick for 2025. So not necessarily a situation that he was going to succeed in or he was probably going to start in. So he has found his way over to Lexington, Kentucky, and he will be leading the Wildcats in 2024. And I think he's going to be ready. I think he's been waiting for this moment. I think he is sat for a very long time, and he is a little bit sick of sitting. I got to be totally honest. I think he's ready to get to live football, be the guy under center, be the guy calling the shots, and he has plenty to work with. Barian Brown, in my opinion, is one of the most underrated receivers in the entire country. His speed is just off the charts. Dane Key is someone that I really, really like. He's very, very smart, technical receiver. And then Jamori Macklin is a elite slot receiver, and it's something that they absolutely need at Kentucky right now. So a lot to work with that receiving core. He has Chip Trainum right next to him in the backfield that I think is going to be a very formidable back. They had Ray Davis a year ago, and he had quite the year. So I think Chip Trainum will be no different. I think, honestly, the best way for Kentucky to get the most out of Brock Vandegrift is just go out there and let him rip. I think the best way for him to maybe get to, his highest reach his highest potential. I totally lost it there. Reach his highest potential. I think the most important thing for him is just let him go out there and make mistakes. Do it trial by fire where he is slinging the ball downfield to Barian Brown or is out of the pocket slinging the ball downfield. Like, allow him to do what he does best, which is throw the football, do these incredible numbers, and let him get comfortable, because the more he gets comfortable, the more the numbers get better and better. And although 2024 might not necessarily be the year that he entirely blows up, it'll be a year that he absolutely could blow up if he can get comfortable as quickly as possible. So I'm very excited for Brock Vandegrift. I think he's someone that, as of right now, people are excited about, but cautiously optimistic. I think that will change very quickly when 2024 starts. Another guy that is a huge deal out in College Station is Ruben Owens. He is someone that is going to be a huge running back for them in 2024. Was the top running back in the 2023 class and flashed at moments last year. Had a little under 400 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. He does have Le'Veon Moss next to him, who is a really, really solid running back in that room. But I think Owens is just a little bit different. I think he's someone that will end up taking charge of that room and being the RB1 going into 2024. And I think he's someone that they absolutely need. I think A&M is in a position where they can make a ton of noise if they can put together an offense that is very formidable. I think they're a group of guys that are obviously very talented at pretty much every single position, but none more talented, in my opinion, than Ruben Owens. So I think if he can have a fantastic year, him and Connor Wegman could be one of the most fun backfields in the entire country. But let's move right on here, and let's go to Athens, Georgia, and let's talk about Anthony Evans. this is a guy that's a little bit off the beaten trail. I think he's someone that might some fans that aren't UGA fans might not know about. If you're a UGA fan, you know him. There's no question about that. If you did watch the SEC title game, he was the guy that almost took a punt back for a touchdown while wearing somehow 3 mouth guards, which is a totally different thing that is a very weird trend in football right now. But that's a side point. He didn't play much in 2023. He is very young and was still developing his skills. But the second he got on the field, he started to pop. He was returning punts, and it was just, there was something about the way that he got out of cuts and exploded up the field that was just a little bit different than I had seen at the punt returner position in quite some time. So he's someone that I tend to think is going to be kind of a punt returner / kind of gadget guy for UGA in the 2024 season, but he's someone that could absolutely push that wide receiver room and will be a threat downfield because of his speed, and Carson Beck can throw it about a country mile. So I think Anthony Evans is someone that might not be on the field down in, down out, but he will absolutely be on the field at the big time moments and will make some plays that actually win UGA games. So might not necessarily put up the super gaudy numbers, but there will be some big plays in 2024 to be had for Anthony Evans for sure. And then let's go to the tight end position. We're kind of working our way around to all the positions here. Holden Stays is a tight end over at Tennessee. He transferred over from Notre Dame. He was stuck behind Mitchell Evans at Notre Dame, who, in my opinion, is the best tight end in the country coming back this year. So, obviously, it was going to be hard for him to find the field. Now he gets a huge chance at Tennessee. Tennessee has some absolute dudes at wide receiver next to him. Squirrel White, who is just an awesome name. I always love saying it. Brew McCoy, and then Chaz Nimrod. 3 guys that are very, very talented, and also 3 guys that stretch the field quite a bit. So I think the underneath routes and the seams are going to be wide open for Holden Stays to be running down, and I think he's going to have a very, very good season. Nico Iamaleava definitely needs that third down guy, needs that reliable person to go to, kind of like what we talked about with Caleb Williams and Cole Kmet. You need that guy to go to down in when you absolutely need a catch on a 3rd and 8 or something like that as a young quarterback, and I think Holden Stays could absolutely be that for Tennessee this upcoming year. So very excited to see what he can do. I think if he can have a big season, that Tennessee offense could really be unlocked into what it was in 2022 with Hendon Hooker at the helm. I don't know why I lost the name there. But finally, let's get to some offensive linemen, because I have not been showing nearly enough love to the offensive linemen in this series. So let's get 2 in here at the end that deserves some respect. Tyler Booker, a guard at Alabama. To be totally honest, he is someone that has already broken out. He is an absolute beast. He is someone that is going to be at the very top of the list for a number of offensive lineman rankings, especially interior offensive linemen, but he played tons last year at Bama, was an absolute beast in run blocking, is someone that, as we talk about Alabama and we talk about all the guys that are pumped into the NFL, there are tons of linemen that are Alabama guys that have built up a ton of ability, whether it's run blocking or pass blocking, that have done incredible things at the next level, and I think Tyler Booker is the next in that long line. So very excited to see what he can do this year. So not necessarily a breakout candidate in terms of the college football fans, but on the draft boards, he is absolutely someone that will shoot up very, very quickly. I think this Alabama run game will be incredible, and a big reason for that is Tyler Booker, because he is someone that is an absolute difference maker when it comes to pushing a defensive tackle 4 yards off the ball pretty much immediately on every run play. So very excited to see the part that he plays in Alabama's success on the ground. But then finally, we have Cam Williams, a tackle from Texas. This dude is straight up big. He is 6'5", 360. He currently is taking over the right tackle position from Christian Jones, who is very experienced, played a ton of snaps, and got a ton better over the last couple of years at Texas, is now on to the NFL draft. Cam Williams is someone that they have very, very high hope for at Texas. There was some worry early on that he was essentially too big to play tackle because you have to be laterally quick. You have to be laterally quick. You have to be able to get off your spot very quickly. And that was something that he struggled with early on. But it sounds like he is kind of developing more. Sark said he has developed more physically into a player that can use his size effectively and move the way that he needs to move. I think he is an absolutely huge piece for Texas. As we know, when Quinn Ewers gets time to survey the field and pick his spot, he's very successful. So protection for Quinn Ewers equals success for Texas, and lots of it. So Cam Williams is someone that is super important to what Texas is doing, because we know the left tackle is going to be great in Kelvin Banks. The right tackle is the question mark, and if Cam Williams can break out this year, then Texas might be on their way to another playoff. But we'll take our final break here, and when we come back, we're going to talk the Clemson Tigers, do another Spotlight Wednesday for you. Obviously, a huge year for Clemson. We'll break down some of the important things that they need to replace, some of the important ways, important players that need to step up big time, and then we'll break down their schedule and how they can kind of navigate it. So stick with us, and we will be right back with that.